Can you feel it? The cold sweat on the back of your neck, that crawling sensation in your spine? What if I told you that 2024 is bringing horror games so terrifying you'll never want to play them alone? Today we dive into the top 10 horror games in 2024, each more bone-chilling than the last. Ready? I hope you're not watching this alone. Let's start with one that'll make you question every shadow you see. 1. The Callisto Protocol Mobile Edition. In the Callisto Protocol Mobile Edition, you're stranded on a desolate prison colony in space, alone. Every creak in the darkness, every blood-curdling scream leaves you wondering what's lurking in the shadows. The creatures here aren't just monsters, they feel alive. And the further you go, the more claustrophobic it gets. The best part? It's a lot easier when someone else is with you. But what happens when you're completely alone? 2. Dead by Daylight Mobile. Ever felt like you're being hunted? In Dead by Daylight Mobile, you either run for your life or you become the hunter. The tension is real. The fear is palpable, especially when you realize there's no one to save you. It's multiplayer, sure, but when it's you, alone in the dark, hiding from a killer, that's when the real terror begins. How fast can you run? Or should I say, how long can you last? 3. Granny, Chapter 3. If you thought your grandmother's house was spooky, Granny Chapter 3 will change your nightmares forever. You're trapped, completely vulnerable, and every sound could give you away. Granny's not just slow, she's watching, waiting. Each creak of the floorboard feels like the last thing you'll hear. And trust me, Granny doesn't like visitors. 4. The Dark Pictures Anthology, Directive 8020. Now imagine making life or death decisions in space. The Dark Pictures Anthology 8020 isn't just a game, it's a psychological trip into the unknown. Every decision could be your last, and when you realize your mistakes in this vast, empty void, it's too late. Playing alone? That's a test of your sanity. What will you choose when it all falls apart? 5. Phasmophobia. In Phasmophobia Mobile, you and your friends investigate haunted locations. But what happens when the lights flicker and you hear that faint whisper? Suddenly, you wish you had backup. The jump scares? Yeah, they're bad. But the real horror comes when you realize you're not the only one in the room. 6. The Outlast Trials. In the Outlast Trials, you're trapped in a world of psychological experiments designed to break you. With every scream in the distance, every twisted face around the corner, you realize running isn't enough. This game is designed for co-op, but what if your partners don't make it? Will you survive these trials or become a victim of your own fear? 7. Layers of Fear, 2024 edition. In the 2024 reimagining of Layers of Fear, reality itself turns against you. You descend into madness as a painter lost in a world of nightmares. Every brushstroke, every hallucination warps your mind. The walls seem to breathe, and they're closing in. It's hauntingly beautiful, but when you play alone, the silence is unbearable. How long before you lose your grip on reality? 8. Alien Isolation. In Alien Isolation Mobile, it's just you and the alien. It learns from your every move, every mistake. There's no help, no one to call. The cold, metallic halls of the space station feel like a prison, and every breath you take might be your last. When you play solo, the fear isn't just about the alien. It's about what happens when you're truly alone in the dark. Can you hide forever? 9. The Forest. Imagine being stranded in the woods, surrounded by cannibalistic mutants. In the forest, survival is your only goal, but the night brings its own horrors. Every rustle in the leaves, every shadow lurking just beyond your campfire. It feels personal. Surviving solo, that takes more than just skill. It takes courage. Will the forest consume you, or will you outlast the darkness? 10. Evil Nun, The Broken Mask. And finally, we have Evil Nun, The Broken Mask. You're trapped in a school with a sinister nun who never stops hunting you. The walls echo with her footsteps, and every empty hallway feels like a death sentence. The silence is deafening. The fear is suffocating. Playing alone, you'll feel her watching you, always watching. But the real question is, can you escape her gaze? And there you have it, the top 10 horror games of 2024. Each one more terrifying than the last. But here's the twist. There's one game out there that's redefining what horror means, and it might just be lurking in your favorite genre. What game is it? You'll have to keep watching to find out. But before you go, I've got something special for you. Click the link on your screen to check out top 10 high graphics Android games in 2024 and share some tips and tricks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more awesome gaming content.